Imagine standing at the mouth of a cave, maybe looking out over a valley, and then realizing that for, gosh, tens of thousands of years, other humans stood right there, looking at pretty much the same view.
It's quite a thought, isn't it?
It really is. What hidden histories are still out there, especially in these places that were like corridors for people moving around?
Absolutely. These ancient pathways hold so many secrets.
Well, speaking of secrets being uncovered, get ready for an incredible journey back in time because something genuinely historic just happened for archaeology. The prehistoric sites of the Khorramabad Valley in Iran, they were officially inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Just happened July 11th, 2025.
Yes, and this is, well, it's truly a monumental moment. It really is.
It sounds huge.
Oh, absolutely, because for the very first time, a Paleolithic site in Iran, focusing on that really deep Stone Age history, has made it onto this incredibly prestigious list.
Wow. First time for Paleolithic in Iran.
First time. It marks a huge shift, really, in how we globally recognize and understand early human history, particularly from the Zagros Mountains, which are just, well, they're archaeologically rich.
Okay, so beyond the official stamp from UNESCO, what is it about these sites? What makes Khorramabad so extraordinary?
That's the key question, isn't it?
Right. So our mission, you could say, in this deep dive is to unpack exactly that. We want to get into the immense span of time people lived there.
It's the sheer depth, yeah.
Exactly. And what these sites tell us about how early humans behaved, adapted, and also the huge scientific effort behind getting this global recognition. It doesn't just happen.
Definitely not. It's years, decades of work.
And for this, we've pulled our insights from the official UNESCO World Heritage Center description, always great stuff there, and a really fascinating article from Archaeology News Online magazine.
Okay, great sources. So let's set the scene for you. The Khorramabad Valley. It's nestled deep within the western Zagros mountain range.
Right.
Geographically, you might picture a really rugged landscape.
Yeah.
Hard karst terrain, limestone, caves, that sort of thing.
It's tough.
It can be. But within that, crucially, it's described as a narrow ecological corridor. And it's rich in water, plants, animals.
Ah, okay, so like an oasis in the mountains.
Sort of, yeah. These fertile pockets within the ruggedness were exactly what made it so attractive for early humans and animals for millennia.
That makes sense. That richness would definitely draw people in. And you mentioned it wasn't just like pretty scenery.
Not at all. For thousands and thousands of years, this valley was a really important cultural and ecological corridor. Think of it connecting major ancient regions, Mesopotamia, the Iranian Plateau, even further towards Central Asia.
So like an ancient highway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ancient superhighway for early humans and their ideas, potentially. And the UNESCO inscription specifically names 5 caves and 1 rock shelter within this valley.
5 caves and a rock shelter. And it's not just the locations, but the time involved, right? You mentioned that earlier.
Oh, the time depth is just staggering. Honestly, we're talking about evidence of human occupation dating back, get this, 63,000 years.
63,000.
63,000 years, minimum. It spans the Middle Paleolithic, often linked with Neanderthals, right through the Upper Paleolithic when modern humans arrive, and continues even into the Bronze Age.
Wow. So it's like an unbroken thread of human presence.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
A continuous timeline in one place. It's extraordinary.
And I guess within that huge time frame, archaeologists see changes, different groups.
Precisely. They've identified distinct cultural traditions.
Yeah.
You've got the Mousterian culture, often associated with Neanderthals, specific kinds of stone tools.
Right.
And then later, the Baradostian culture, which seems linked to early modern humans arriving in the Zagros.
Okay.
And the UNESCO listing actually highlights 5 key scientifically verified sites. Let me see. Yafteh, Ghamari, Kunji, Gilvaran, and Gar Arjeneh.
So those 5 collectively tell this long story.
Exactly. Together, they provide what UNESCO calls an extraordinary and continuous cultural sequence. And that's invaluable. It's like having a playbook, It gives us crucial information about how human behavior developed, how our ancestors adapted over vast stretches of time.
So you can almost trace the journey from, say, mobile hunters.
Right, people moving with the seasons, following herds.
To societies that were becoming more complex, maybe staying put longer.
Precisely. Towards more settled ways of life. You see that transition reflected in the layers.
And what are they actually finding in these layers? What did people leave behind?
Well, all sorts of things. You get lots of stone tools, of course, different types showing technological changes, but also, really interestingly, decorative objects.
Decorative tools, like jewelry.
Things like that, yeah. And these finds, the tools and these decorative items, they reveal more than just survival. They tell us about the cognitive and technological development of early humans in the Zagros Mountains. They hint at, complex minds at work.
And there's a key person involved in uncovering some of this, right?
Yes, absolutely. Dr. Sonia Shidrang. She's a Paleolithic archaeologist at Shahid Beheshti University in Tehran. She really led the scientific charge for this nomination.
Okay.
She was the corresponding scientific author for the big ICOMOS dossier. That's the technical report UNESCO relies on. Her work was crucial.
And her work at one cave, Yafteh, was particularly important.
Hugely important. Her excavations there basically redefined what we thought we knew about that Baradostian culture. I mentioned the one linked to early modern humans, roughly 40,000 to 25,000 years ago.
How so? What did she find?
Well, this is where it gets really exciting. She uncovered what are described as uncommon symbolic objects. Things like marine shell beads.
The marine shells, but they're in the mountains.
Exactly. That suggests trade or long-distance travel, right? Plus perforated deer teeth, likely worn as ornaments, and even pendants made from hematite. That's a red mineral pigment.
Wow. So not just tools for hunting. These are personal items. Art.
Precisely. They are profound evidence. These beads, these pendants, they're not just trinkets. They show us that our ancient ancestors, tens of thousands of years ago, weren't only focused on survival.
They had more going on.
Absolutely. An inner world, maybe? A desire for beauty, self-expression, perhaps even spiritual beliefs. It pushes back the timeline for complex, abstract thought and, you could say, artistic expression in this region significantly.
So this was key for UNESCO.
Massively key. This discovery unequivocally confirmed early symbolic behavior, and that directly contributed to the site's outstanding universal value. That's UNESCO's gold standard, basically. It means it's so unique, so important globally, it must be protected for everyone.
Right.
As Dr. Shidrang herself put it, she said something like, by placing the Khorramabad Valley into the global narratives of human evolution and symbolic culture, we demonstrated that the region holds crucial scientific importance. It connected the local finds to the big human story.
That makes sense. And when we look at the individual sites, the picture gets even clearer, doesn't it?
It does. You see different facets of the story.
Like Yafteh Cave, as you said, giving us that powerful glimpse into early creativity, symbolic expression.
Right. The art, the ornaments. But then you look at another site, like Ghamari Cave.
Okay, what's its story?
Ghamari shows a different but equally vital picture. It details a really long sequence of occupation. It starts with Neanderthals.
Neanderthals too, okay.
Yes, definitely. And goes right through to later Chalcolithic communities, early herders. So Ghamari showcases these key population transitions in Southwest Asia. You see different groups using the same space over time.
Like layers of history, literally.
Exactly. And Dr. Faridun Biglari, who heads the Paleolithic department at Iran's National Museum, he led recent work there, really digging into that sequence.
And then there's Kunji Cave. You mentioned that one too.
Yes, Kunji. It adds another crucial layer. It's known for its long stratigraphic record. Again, many distinct layers showing occupation through time.
So more continuity.
Continuity, but also change. Kunji, in particular, seems to trace that gradual transformation from nomadic foraging groups into more permanent populations. It helps us understand that huge shift in human history settling down.
And someone involved in digging there way back felt strongly about this UNESCO listing.
Yes, John D. Spieth. He's a professor emeritus, and he actually co-directed excavations at Kunji Cave way back in 1969.
Wow, 1969.
Yeah. He described the news of the inscription as deeply moving and called it long overdue recognition.
That's quite an endorsement.
It is, and he said something really insightful. The caves at Khorramabad preserve one of the most intriguing records of how Homo sapiens dispersed into Eurasia and interacted with Neanderthals and other archaic human species.
So that interaction point again. It wasn't just our ancestors, Homo sapiens, but Neanderthals too, and how they might have met.
Exactly. That's a crucial aspect. These sites don't just show us tools or art. They testify to Homo sapiens and Neanderthals' contact zones. This valley was potentially a place where these different human groups encountered each other.
Which is central to understanding human evolution, right? How different groups interacted, maybe interbred.
Precisely. And Dr. Biglari from the National Museum really emphasized this. He stated that all 5 sites yield strong evidence for Neanderthal occupation.
Okay.
And offer valuable insight into their material culture, subsistence strategies, and interactions with early Homo sapiens who migrated to the Zagros around 45,000 years ago.
So the valley becomes this key location in that bigger story of humans moving out of Africa, spreading across Eurasia, and meeting other human types already there.
That's exactly it. It positions the Khorramabad Valley as a critical meeting point, a crossroads in deep human history.
So with this inscription, Iran now joins some pretty elite company on the World Heritage List,
Yep.
doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about countries with iconic Paleolithic sites like, the Vézère Valley in France with Lascaux,
Right, the cave paintings.
Altamira Cave in Spain, Zucudian in China, where Peking Man was found, Sanjaran in Indonesia, Bhimbetka in India with its rock shelters. It's really joining a distinguished group.
That puts it on the map globally in a new way.
It really does. And that's the significance for the whole international archaeological community. This recognition isn't just, a win for the researchers involved.
Although it is that.
It definitely is that. But it's more broadly a cultural milestone. It firmly places this region, the Zagros Mountains, within the global narrative of human evolution. It's like it's bridging continents, timelines, and even different human species,
Yeah.
all converging in this one valley.
Wow. What an absolutely fascinating journey through the Khorramabad Valley that's
It
been.
really is incredible stuff.
We've touched on this immense time depth over 60,000 years of human history. We've pictured its unique environment, that fertile corridor in the mountains.
Hmm.
And we've seen the profound insights it gives us into how early humans evolved, their culture, symbolic thought, and even how different human species might have interacted right there.
Yeah, Neanderthals and Homo sapiens potentially crossing paths.
It's mind-boggling. But it's also important to remember, isn't it, that even with all these incredible discoveries, there's still more to find.
Oh, definitely. The experts say the area remains remarkably underexplored. There's just so much potential there.
So this UNESCO listing isn't the end of the story.
Not at all. If anything, it's maybe just the beginning of a new chapter. It holds significant potential for future archaeological discoveries. This valley will likely continue revealing its secrets for years, maybe even centuries to come.
So thinking about all this, what does it mean for us, listening right now?
That was the takeaway.
As we consider these, still hidden layers of history waiting in places like Khorramabad, what might they reveal about us? About that fundamental human drive to adapt, to survive, to create.
Resilience, yeah.
And how do these ancient stories of creativity, maybe struggle, connection across vast time, how do they still resonate? Do they maybe even inform our own understanding of what it means to be human right now in our own complex world?
That's a deep question to ponder. How do these echoes from 60,000 years ago still speak to us?
Exactly. Something to think about. We'll leave you with that thought.